Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Patty, Dazzling Diva. I'm a part-time reseller on sites such as Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, and welcome to another episode of Vlogmas. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over 3 previous mystery boxes that I had purchased earlier this year and one last year, and see what they're doing, and then I'm going to go over what I'm planning on doing to get rid of what's left in the boxes. So I went over this strategy of how I use these labels in Vendoo when I went over a Vendoo uh, video, and I titled it "Why I Use Vendoo and Why You Should Too," and I was just being funny with it or whatever. But this person left me a really nasty comment about how resellers, how they just do these for clicks and likes and clowns and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like, dude, it's really not that serious. I'm just giving my opinion. If someone wants to use it, they can. If they don't have to. But the fact that he left the comment probably like 2 or 3 in the morning shows what type of person that is. Like, who does that? Who's sitting up at 2 or 3 in the morning leaving negative comments on people's videos? Like, what a life. What a wonderful life that is to have. But anyways, so I'm going to go over this with you. It sounds interesting. Go ahead and stay tuned. So the first one I'm going to look at is actually this thread up jeans box. Going to look at that. And first we're going to go over what sold. And I actually have the profits. Now the profits are going to be not only the fees, but also the price per jeans. And I think I averaged about $3 for the ones that I kept for the price of the jeans. So might be a little bit less than that because it's 24. So yeah, like between $2.50 and $3 for the jeans. So we have these Abercrombie and Fitch jeans that sold for $25. Hudson jeans were the best seller out of the box. They sold for $50. Charter Club, which is a surprise because I don't pick up Charter Club, but maybe if I see it at the bins or something, I might. They sold for $17. Women's Universal Thread, Mirage Denim, size 8. Universal Thread is a brand that I do like to sell, even though it's just Walmart. It's a brand that sells well because everybody has a Walmart, and the people that like the jeans like the jeans. So American Eagle, something that I've been sitting on lately, but these sold for $19. As you see the sell date, these were last year. Madewell, which is kind of slowed down for me in the jeans department, sold for $19. It's my birthday. Lucky Brand jeans, and these are men's. Lucky Brand jeans don't really sell well for me, but because these are men's, maybe I'll look at picking up the men's jeans because I don't really pick up the women's jeans anymore. But these sold for about $20. MEXX, this is a brand that I had never heard of, but they sold about $17. Levi's 505 cutoff shorts, size 29, sold for $25. And then these Old Navy perfect straight leg denim jeans, size 16 medium wash, sold for about $15. So all in all, the profit was $111. I paid about $65 for the box, so about $50 in a profit. But I do have 13 jeans left, so I figured that even if I start these at an auction at maybe like $5 to $7, then I'll still make a pretty good decent amount back. We have these wax jeans, and what I'm going to do for these is I'm going to relist them. First, I'm going to check my inventory to make sure that I do still have all of these jeans before I relist them, and make sure that they are relisted on eBay, because stuff does fall off of eBay, which might be one reason why some of them haven't sold. But I'm gonna relist them all since they've been here for over a year. I'm gonna relist them all starting at $9.99. So we have these wax jeans, size 5, which is a junior's brand, so that's not surprising they're still here. These Old Navy jeans, size 27. Garage Denim Acid Wash Jeans. It's not a brand that I sell that much. Rag and Bone Jeans is kind of surprising that these are still here. So I'm going to have to relist those at a lower price. These Coogee jeans. Genetic Denim, I've never heard of those. Women's Patagonia jeans. Liverpool jeans, that's surprising because I usually do pretty good with Liverpool jeans. Levi's Signature, pretty sure it's supposed to be $5.51. And that's another thing too that I'm going to look at. Look at the title, see if I need to change the title, and also lower the price. So Wrangler's jeans, size 40, that's a pretty good size, and they're black, so that's a little surprising these are still here. The limited jeans, those are hit or miss for me. Sometimes they sell well, and sometimes they don't. Also, same thing with White House Black Market, but these White House Black Market are capris and they are a size 0, so I don't have high hopes for those. And then we have these Massimo denim shorts. So going to do that in the morning. We look at all of those. So the next I'm going to look at this Goodwill mystery box because it was actually surprising to me. So I had a total 11 items that I listed and I sold 8. So we have these Catherine's. Catherine's is a really good plus size brand to sell. It's my first time finding those. So I sold these shorts for $21. Tail, I never heard of that, but it's a pretty good golf brand. Those sold for $19. This Nike Golf Skort sold for $19. These Kona Soul, I was hesitant about just selling just the bottoms, but this is a really good brand. So they did sell by themselves, sold for $15. Had these two Tommy Hilfiger shirt dresses that sold, and it's kind of had 95. I don't know why I didn't put the Y2K vibes. Definitely had those vibes. And one sold for $17, the other one sold for $20. This White House Black Market Gold polka dot stud large faux shirt. It was really nice, hard to see, but it had like these pretty little studs all over, really nice and festive. Those sold $15, and then the other pair of Catherine sold for $19. And now that I'm thinking of it, I need to find it. I had like 3 pair. There was like a red pair that I need to find and list. I don't know what happened to those. But the stuff that I have left is surprising because I have 2 Ralph Lauren dresses that are left that hadn't sold, and I was actually playing around with because I've been thinking about sending some things to ThredUp, even though I know that ThredUp, people say you make pennies on a dollar. But I do have some resellers that I watch that really like sending things to ThredUp, but one of the girls, she sends high-end stuff to ThredUp, so she makes a decent amount of money. But I'm thinking that these dresses will probably sell better on ThredUp than with me selling them, so I may experiment and do the box where you can have stuff sent back to you if they don't sell. So the beginning of the year, I'm going to pull these and see what happens, and whatever I can get for them, since I like to get ThredUp boxes, I'll just use it as credit toward the ThredUp box. And then we have this Como golf shirt that's probably going to sell closer to spring of next year. But profit wise, made about $53 after you take away the fees and the price that I paid per item. So paid about $31 for the box. So I did, did come out like about $20 on that. So it'll be interesting to see if I can get some money, what money I can get for those from ThredUp. And so lastly, we're going to go over this shoebox that I got from ThredUp. First, we're going to go over what has sold thus far. So we have these. This sold fairly quickly. The really pretty yellow ballet flats by J. Crew sold for $23. These Rampage Black Lace heels actually came back to me. They sold for $25. Tom's shoes wasn't much to them. I was happy to get them sold. They sold for $12.99. These Sam Edelman shoes sold for a little bit less than $24.99 because they did sell in a bundle. So they probably sold for like more than closer to $18. These Van Asher's Suede Sherpa, I've listed them as, even though they're unisex as Vans are, I did list them for women's size 7, 7.5, because I figured the men's size 6 would be a really hard sell. They sold for $19. And then these CV sneakers, they sold for $19. And what we still have left, and so the profit on these are, let me look at this now that I am going over this. Let me look at something really quickly to see. Yeah, okay, so I just realized that these prices, they may have sold for a little bit less. That's annoying. So this is what it were originally listed at. So that's why if you're like, oh, those profits seem like they're really low, that's because so next time I'm gonna have to remember to look at that. Like these sold for 16. I think I remember selling these Toms for 10, but anyway, so the profit so far is 49, no, 48, and I paid about $71 for the box. But according to what I have 9 shoes left, and if these Birkenstock sell, I will definitely be, or when they sell, I know they're going to sell, I will definitely be in the profit with these box. So we have these Italian shoemaker sandals. That's not a brand that I normally sell, but they're in good condition. These Anthropologie, since they're a nice bright pink color, hopefully they'll sell closer to spring. I have the Birkenstocks. The great thing about Birkenstocks is it doesn't matter what the floor bed looks like, they can still sell. These woven ballet flats are, I think this is just a Shein brand, so nothing special. And they may end up, I may end up just donating them if they don't sell. I'll check back in around about March, April. If they hadn't sold yet, I'm just gonna donate them. These Nike Air Force Ones, I'm probably just gonna have to lower the price on these. I think I just have them listed a little bit too high. These Franco Sarto, the orange, that's a nice spring color, so hopefully that'll sell in spring. Sperry's, you know, they're not a brand that really sells that well for me, so I just need to lower the price on these anyway to at least $19.99. These Adidas Cloudform running shoes are in pretty good condition, so I have hopes for these. And these Jewel Bagley Miska ankle strap shoes, even though I can't relist it on Poshmark right yet, because when if you see the little flag, this means that they've been listed at least 60 days. And if you look, it actually will tell you this was 98 days ago. So it's too soon to relist them on Poshmark because they're getting very strict about that. But I want to delist and relist on eBay and Mercari, since, you know, we have like New Year's coming up and then Valentine's Day after that. This would be some nice like party shoe too. All right, so those are the 3 mystery boxes that I looked at that I'm going to revamp tomorrow. Look at the title, lower the prices on the ones that I need, and to relist them with the jeans. Make sure that I have them in stock before I do that. And hopefully that'll get items moving. I am going to be participating in this fashion thing that eBay has where they're going to have a 20% off coupon for the first week of January. So I want to get stuff relisted in time for that. I'll get it all fresh and new in the algorithm for that. So hopefully that will help, and we shall see. I'm going to report on how much I made from the 20% off coupon and if it was worth it to do, because personally I've been finding that putting my store on sale works a lot better for me than having coupons. But since this is an eBay coupon and they're going to be promoting it, maybe it'll do a little bit differently. All right, so if you learn anything, make sure to give me a thumbs up, help promote this video. Make sure to check out my playlist, my Vlogmas playlist, as well as the mystery boxes, unboxings, what sold, different types of videos like that. Go ahead and hit the bell notification when you know the rest of my videos drop. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.